Copy that. 5 minutes out. Is this a cold open? All right, nobody tosses to me, so it's cold open, 30 seconds. And just sig out. All right. Copy. Anybody else here? 11 is just arriving. Let's stay over the freeway so we don't get over the homes. Copy. Copy, 2 minutes. Copy. Copy. Just give me a cue. We have a complete closure on the Ventura Freeway westbound just past the 405 in the Sherman Oaks area. Standoff between a suspect acting suspiciously and the CHP. Boy, traffic on the Ventura westbound now is backed up for several miles. Eastbound traffic is heavy out of Woodland Hills as well. Think about Ventura Boulevard as your best alternate around this. From Air 7 HD, I'm Scott Reif, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Sure. Oh, no kidding. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay. Let's try something for a moment. Let's try shooting through the windshield, the passenger side, through the window. Let's go over the, and come on down a little bit, down to maybe 1200. Is that, it's not just a chain link fence? Okay, you're right, it won't work. Forget about that. How tall is the wall, though? What's that? Yeah, I just don't want to hover right over the top of the same house for a long period of time. We'll move over there when the hit comes, but understood. Yeah, bring my mic down. We're going to be on this show here in a moment. Jay, my mic is back up. Do you copy me? Do you know who the anchors are at 11? Phillips back. All right. All right, copy. Okay. Am I reporting it or not? Am I mentioning it? All right, copy. All right. Copy. I'll look out for that. LAPD is here. There's several patrol cars behind the CHP there. I'd like to keep the nose pointed that direction if we can. Copy. Boy, it certainly is. Don't use the Ventura Freeway in either direction. It's westbound, as you mentioned. All lanes are shut down. There's a tight shot of the vehicle. There is a man in the vehicle, we believe only a man, the suspect in this case, and there's been a lot of movement. It appears to be very agitated, could be at mental health issues or under the influence of drugs or alcohol. We just don't know. But this has been going on, we believe, for about an hour now on the Ventura Freeway westbound. All lanes shut down, CHP in a standoff, trying to get that man out of the vehicle safely. And, boy, look at the backup here. Now, I want to mention it's westbound, just past the 405. That's where all lanes of the freeway are shut down. Ventura westbound is backed up for miles out of the Studio City area, but the Ventura eastbound is worth a mention as well. You're not seeing it in this shot, but the eastbound Ventura, everybody's slowing to look. Eastbound lanes are open. That's slow out of Woodland Hills. So Ventura Boulevard is your route around this. I want to go into the vehicle one more time. They issued a SIG alert for at least another hour. We're hoping at this point in time they can wrap this up sooner. We have not seen CHP or LAPD that is assisting approach the vehicle yet. Right now they're just trying to talk this individual out of this situation peacefully. But boy, it's done a number on the Ventura Freeway and the surrounding surface streets. It's going to be a mess for quite some time, Philip and Giovanna. It's really going to affect all of the drives, even the 405. We really don't know. We're speculating that maybe they tried to shoot tear gas inside the vehicle. You see in front of the vehicle there is a spike strip to make certain that the car doesn't drive away, but the tires are not flat. So we didn't hear that this was a pursuit. We heard that they got several calls that a man was acting suspicious on the freeway, and it's unclear exactly how those windows are shot out. I'm speculating they may have tried tear gas, and it looks like right now they are approaching. So slowly, you're seeing CHP officers approach the suspect. We did see him get out of the vehicle earlier. Right now, they're just trying to communicate with him. Maybe they're going to try and get him a phone. Maybe they're going to try and lure him out of the vehicle so they can try and establish some communication. And you see now what they did is deliver him some water. So basically a gesture to try and open up some communication so they can get the suspect out of that vehicle peacefully. Correct. Correct. And the 405 onto the 101, it's heavy in both directions. So really try and get as far away from this as possible. Ventura Boulevard is trying to take up, the brunt of it, but that's selling out pretty quickly. We can only hope it opens up pretty soon, especially for the motorists, and that it ends peacefully. It does really appear this is probably a mental health issue, and it looks like they're trying to take their time and just get this person out of that vehicle safely. We did see him open the door and almost come out of the vehicle. I think that's just a gesture to try and open up some communication to say, hey, look, here's some water. Maybe get him to come out of that vehicle, then they could bull rush him and take him into custody. We don't know if the suspect is armed. Obviously, they have to presume that he could be. But at this point, it looks like they're really just trying to get him out of that vehicle peacefully and then hopefully open up this freeway because it's affecting thousands and thousands of motorists. Only what we see, and that could be the case. It seems like there might be some balding. There might be some gray hair on that man, but it's really hard to tell for sure. Yeah, I could only speculate, Philip, because we weren't here. When we got on scene, you're seeing exactly what we saw. The spike strip was in front of the vehicle, and the windows were shot out. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. You know, we've seen more and more of these pursuits, and we've seen more and more mental health issues. And it's obviously we've seen a change in the way they approach these things. Go back 10 or 15 years, they would not have done this. They would approach that vehicle very quickly and taken that suspect into custody, unless, of course, they thought he was armed. And then in that case, they would have probably shot tear gas into the vehicle. They wouldn't have been this patient. But by doing so, as you mentioned, you know, we have volume now, levels that are approaching pre-pandemic levels. Not quite, but they're getting there. And we have thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands, of vehicles stranded on the Ventura Freeway. I could see it up Woodland Hills, and it looks like it's almost backed up to Winnetka. On the westbound side, I could see it out of Studio City, and that looks like it's backed up from Coldwater. So not only the freeway, but the surrounding surface streets are just starting to come to a standstill almost. They do have a patrol car coming from the westbound side, coming towards the vehicle. Coming eastbound on those westbound lanes. Off to the left, you'll see him in a minute. Maybe continues. Jamie, why don't you re-rack that footage of them approaching it, and then we'll go off it if we see them move again. You can hear me on microwave, right? Yeah. It's hard to say. When's the next hit, Jay? Any idea? All right, copy. I would think it just hold it, and if you see any activity, then just dump it and roll on anything that happens. But well, how long does it take to hit the button? Okay. We'll keep an eye if the door opens, then we'll just drop it and record what we have live. Here. All right, you can come off that. It looks like they're going to approach with the dog on the right there. Go ahead and shoot this live. I'll record it. Let's slide a little bit to the right, just a little bit to the north here. Right pedal turn, should get rid of that. Yeah, we're recording now, right, John? Okay. That's good right here. All right, copy that. All right, copy. It looks like LAPD on the right there, correct? See the canine. I think they're going to approach the vehicle here, it looks like. Possibly. Maybe not. Yeah. So I got a whole minute, Jamie. I'll talk a little bit about that bottle probably that they dropped off earlier. All right, copy. Yeah, Giovanna, it has destroyed the drive. You're looking at the Ventura westbound, just past the 405 in the Sherman Oaks Encino area. You look into the vehicle, there's a lot of movement. A man inside that vehicle is acting suspicious. That's when CHP pulled this vehicle over. They put the spike strip in front of the car so he can't drive away. And you see that bottle right in front of the vehicle. They tried to approach. They set the bottle down, tried to talk the man out of the vehicle, but that's been unsuccessful. Now, this has been going on for well over an hour, and all lanes of the Ventura Freeway westbound are shut down. Eastbound lanes are open, but the eastbound side is very heavy as well out of Woodland Hills. We'll give you an idea. They're approaching now, so we could see some end to this soon if they're able to get this suspect into custody and maybe reopen the lanes. We're just seeing CHP behind the cruiser. They do have a canine unit with them. The dog is with them. Whether or not they're going to release the dog, it is unclear, but hopefully they'll be able to take the suspect into custody here in the next few minutes and open up the freeway. But right now the Ventura westbound remains completely shut down, and it has destroyed the drive on the freeway in both directions. Philip, Giovanna? We really don't have a lot of information about the driver. We can only go by what we've seen. His demeanor has been very animated. He's been bouncing back and forth. Push on into the vehicle if you would, Jamie. But he's been bouncing back and forth in that driver's side seat. It looks like they approached. Maybe they got a good idea what they're dealing with, trying to look inside to make certain there's no one else inside the vehicle. But you can see him jumping up and down. He did get out of the vehicle for a moment and then get right back in. That was about 30 minutes ago. And we don't know why the windows are shot out. We don't know how they're broken, I should say. If that was CHP shooting tear gas into the vehicle, or maybe those windows were broke out by the suspect. He got out of the vehicle. That's possible because there were reports he was acting suspiciously on the freeway. Now, they approached with the CHP cruiser right up to the vehicle and then backed off. So right now they're trying to come up with a plan, and they really just want to get this individual into custody peacefully without him getting hurt and get this freeway reopened. But right now it's affecting thousands of motorists, and the freeway in both directions is in absolute gridlock. You don't want to get on the Ventura Freeway. Unfortunately, we don't. That's the report we got from the CHP, that they responded to a suspect on the freeway who is acting suspiciously. So we don't have any more details, and we can't really get much more information from that besides just acting suspicious, which could be a broad range of things. And that's why we don't really know how the windows got broken, if the suspect did that or if CHP fired tear gas into the vehicle and that was unsuccessful. But they are approaching a little more cautiously now, or it should be a little further. It seems like the officer there, they're slowly approaching with the vehicle. Whether or not they're going to bring another vehicle into the front of this vehicle and make sure it can't take off is unclear. Whether or not they're going to rush up to the window and try and pull him out. They certainly want to make certain that the suspect does not have a weapon. That'll be their primary concern. And right now they may be shooting gas inside, some sort of tear gas inside the vehicle to get him to come out, trying to communicate with him to possibly just get him to give up peacefully, or maybe just taking some pictures and getting a real good idea of what else may be inside the vehicle there. Yeah, at first I thought they were going to spray some type of tear gas in there, but I didn't really see that. I didn't see what we'd usually see if they tried to put tear gas in there and get the suspect out. So more than likely they were taking some photos. They're going to get somebody to take a look at that and come up with an exact plan. You know, it wasn't that long ago we saw that pursuit that ended, and in the back seat uncovered, I believe it was an 8-year-old girl, and so they just never know if there might be someone else inside the vehicle. Yeah, he's been rocking back and forth. I mean, there we go. They're approaching again. We'll see what their posture and what they're going to do here. They're breaking the back window out. So it's unclear if they had done this before and then backed off, and that's why the windows are broken. I'm really not certain at this point, but you can see they're trying to force more entry inside the vehicle, and you can see the suspect getting more agitated. But since we've been here, it's been well over an hour. He's been rocking back and forth inside that vehicle, and they are spraying something in there. So that's going to be a tear gas, more than likely some sort of pepper spray, and they're hoping that will force him out of the vehicle. But certainly the first time they did it, it did not. You can tell he's becoming more agitated, putting his hands up in front of his face. Hopefully he'll grab for the door and figure, I just have to get out of that vehicle. But certainly look at him jumping up and down inside the vehicle. So I think we're looking at a mental health issue or some type of drugs and alcohol, because the demeanor of this individual, and it looks like they're going to continue with the same posture. They're going to head up once again, and they're going to shoot more pepper spray inside the vehicle until finally it's just intolerable for the suspect and he gets out. There goes the right window. They'll probably come around and shoot. There you go. They've opened the right window. And it looks like now they know whether or not this individual has a weapon. They're going to be able to get him into custody now. They're going to grab him and drag him out. Yeah. Yeah, he certainly is resisting. It gives you an idea when someone does resist how difficult it is for officers to get that individual into custody. I want to open up out of this shot, though, and just make sure people know exactly where we're at. It's on the Ventura westbound just past the 405, and I know CHP will try and open up the freeway as quick as possible, but it's been shut down now for well over an hour. The eastbound side is slow as well, but of course the westbound, if we show you that real quick, you don't want to get on it. It's absolute gridlock. The Ventura westbound is backed up for several miles. It's going to be a while before it clears out. Yeah, we can go around the other side so we can see him. I did. All right, copy. All right, we should go quick then, but we don't have that much fuel left. We should leave now. We won't be able to make it to the end of the show and fly up there. I don't think we have enough fuel to do both. All right, direct back to, let's go to direct to Whiteman. You still have that address, Jamie, or not? I got it. Uh, 2600 block of Bent Spur Drive.